Welcome into Fast Break Friday, Vol Society's weekend college basketball preview show for the weekend of January the 18th and 19th of the year 2025. My name is David Morrison from the Vol Society, here to preview the upcoming college basketball weekend games featuring our Vols, the Lady Vols, the SEC, and games across the nation. We begin with our beloved Tennessee Volunteers, ranked number 6 in this week's AP poll. On the road this week, heading to the state capitol to take on the Vanderbilt Commodores. Tennessee picked up a big road win last Saturday, defeating the Texas Longhorns. And like I said, after the embarrassing loss to Florida, so trying to get another big road win in the SEC, as it is so crucial at this basically this season in general. We'll see if Chaz Lanier could get back to playing at a high level. We may be seeing the emergence of maybe a Darren Stone-Dubar. You never know. We'll see what Rick Barnes and company has in store. Of course, Zakai Ziegler leads the way for Tennessee, one of the best guards in the nation. Meanwhile, for Vanderbilt, they've had a couple of games they've dropped along the way. Like I said, trying to pull off a big upset win at home, and it has happened before. Vanderbilt has had Tennessee's number at Memorial Gym. Could we see another one, or will Tennessee take care of business and pick up another road win? We'll find out Saturday, 3:30 Eastern Time on the SEC Network. Our beloved Lady Vols will also be in Nashville this weekend. They'll play Sunday at 3 o'clock on SEC+. Lady Vols now number 15 in the country, snapped that 2-game losing streak, winning on the road at Arkansas. Now they have another road test on a weekend as they take on Vanderbilt. We'll see what Kim Caldwell and company has in store. Talisha Cooper doing a nice job, Ruby Whitehorn, and that entire Lady Vols team that just rotates players in and out and playing at a high level as their schedule is getting ready to pick up right after this game. But the Lady Vols taking on Vanderbilt Sunday at 3 o'clock. All right, let's go across the SEC really quick. We begin with a big-time showdown at Rupp Arena Saturday at noon on ESPN. Number 4, Alabama. Number 8, Kentucky, two of the top teams in the SEC. Kentucky has had a remarkable first season under Mark Pope, their head coach. Their previous coach not having so much, and we'll talk about him in just a moment, but playing at a very high level at this moment. And Alabama, once again, playing at a high level for Nate Oates' group. Mark Sears doing a nice job for the Crimson Tide. Big-time SEC matchup. Both teams definitely contending for first place in the SEC standings. A very tough division. We know Rupp Arena is going to be rocking and rolling on Saturday, but a top 10 showdown Saturday at noon. Another big-time matchup, 1 o'clock on the SEC Network. Number 1 Auburn taking on number 23 Georgia. Georgia has been playing spoiler for these ranked teams coming to Georgia at their place. They've already knocked off Kentucky at home, and last Saturday they knocked off Oklahoma. So now number 1 Auburn's coming into town. Jedi Broome did not play in the last game as Auburn took on Mississippi State. Is he going to be ready for this game, or can Georgia pull their third straight home win against a ranked opponent? We shall see. Number 1 has been kind of unlucky number, at least for the Vols. They had a good stretch there, but eventually came to an end. We'll see if Auburn can hold on or they continue in their winning ways. All right, 4 o'clock, ESPN2. 5th-ranked Florida welcomes in the Texas Longhorns. Texas off to a slow start in SEC play. We'll see, how they'll do on the road at the O'Connell Center. Florida playing at a great high level, doing a nice job. Should be a fun little matchup here. Florida should be probably I wouldn't say a big favorite, but should be a pretty good favorite in this matchup. Meanwhile for Texas, just trying to find some answers. They got a solid team. just going to have to find a way to pick up some wins down the stretch, and this is a tough one right here. But we'll find out. Longhorns and the Gators, Saturday, 4 o'clock ESPN2, 4 o'clock on ESPNU. South Carolina at Oklahoma. At once upon a time, Oklahoma was undefeated in the regular season at 13-0, and now they have hit the skids here in conference play. They do come back home, taking on South Carolina, a team that, on paper, they should have an advantage with. But, South Carolina took Auburn to the wire at their place. We'll see what happens. I guess you could say a must-win game for both of these squads, even though they're unranked, but at least build a resume up. And, the SEC, as I mentioned, the toughest it's been in a long time, at least in my lifetime. All right, 6 o'clock, ESPN2. It's not the Egg Bowl, but it's, the same intense rivalry in the Magnolia State. 21st ranked Ole Miss heading to Starkville to take on 15th ranked Mississippi State. Man, this is going to be an entertaining game. I know there's some other big-time college basketball games this weekend. We already talked about Alabama, Kentucky, but this is a sneaky, underrated game. It's going to be physical. You might see a fight or two break out, hopefully in a good sportsmanship way, but big-time rivalry game on the hardwood. Both Mississippi clubs with young, energetic coaches trying to get their teams playing at a high level. You got Chris Beard with Ole Miss and Jans with Mississippi State. Should be a lot of fun at the Hump on Saturday. Ole Miss and Mississippi State. 6 o'clock, SEC Network. The unranked Arkansas Razorbacks taking on the Missouri Tigers. Boy, oh boy, just a sluggish start for John Calipari and the Arkansas Razorbacks. Losing to the likes of Tennessee and Ole Miss and Florida. And now a must-win game on the road at Missouri. Missouri, we already mentioned, they're coming off a win against Vanderbilt over the weekend. They do have that win over Kansas on their home court on their resume. This is another big rivalry game right here, the Battle Line rivalry with Arkansas and Missouri that the SEC's kind of forced together to make something out of nothing. But hey, at least they're living up to it with some of these rivalries with football now over to basketball. But must-win game for Missouri, really for both clubs, but definitely for Arkansas. All right, 8:30 SEC Network as we wrap up these conference games. LSU taking on 11th ranked Texas A&M. Game will be a College Station, 8:30 SEC Network. A&M, Buzz Williams and company doing a nice job. Just these ranked teams that we have profiled. Tennessee, number 6, Alabama 4, Kentucky 8, Auburn 1, Florida 5, A&M 11, Ole Miss 21, Mississippi State 15. It's just a stacked league. And, for A&M, you take on a less inferior team in LSU. But, hey, LSU, they can hang in there too. So we'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a very intense weekend in the SEC with some great games. All right, let's go across the nation. We've got a couple of games we're going to profile before we get you out of here. 3 o'clock on NBC Saturday, 17th ranked Purdue taking on 13th ranked Oregon from Eugene. Purdue, led by Trey Kaufman-Renn, averaging 17 points, 6 rebounds per game. And meanwhile, for Oregon, they have a big old 7-footer that they're going to rely on in Nate Biddle, the 7-foot senior from Oregon. 13 points, 7 rebounds, averaging almost 2 blocks a game. This is a Big Ten game, believe it or not. And Oregon has done a nice job in their first year in the conference, very similar with football, transitioning over to basketball. And we'll see what happens between the Boilermakers and the Ducks. And then Sunday on CBS, good 6.5 hours before the Ravens and the Bills play on that network. We got another big-time college basketball game in the Big Ten. 19th ranked Illinois taking on Michigan State. Vols already saw Illinois back in December. Still hanging in there in the top 10. Michigan State with Jahan Izzo doing a nice job, ranked number 12 in the country this week. They're led by, let me pull up the name here, Michigan State led by Atkins, 14 points per game, kind of leading scoring the rest of because the rest of the team is averaging under 10 a game. But hey, should be a nice matchup at the Crestline Center between the Illinois Illini and Michigan State. All right, that's going to wrap it up for Fast Break Friday. Another exciting week of college basketball, and we're going to bring it here each and every Friday, weather permitting, right here on Vol Society. So enjoy the weekend.